Mr Speaker, my question is to the Minister of Education. Is she satisfied with the progress being made to implement national standards?
The Honourable Anne Tolley.
Mr Speaker, yes, but as the member well knows, there's always room for improvement.
The Honourable Chris Carter.
Mr Speaker, supplementary. Does she agree that national standards by definition must be consistent across all schools to have any validity? And if so, can she explain to the House what steps she has taken to ensure that parents can be confident that an achieved standard at one school will be the same as that recorded at any other school?
The Honourable Anne Tolley.
Mr Speaker, yes, well, the standards themselves are a set of consistent expectations in reading, writing and maths that show that progress by a student against those standards will enable them to achieve NCA Level 2. So the standards themselves are consistent. I think the member is talking about the overall teacher judgments that will be used by our teaching profession to measure and report on progress against those standards. And that's called moderation. The consistency will be supported by what's called moderation, and that will be quality assured by ERO. The Ministry is providing tools like things like exemplars to illustrate these standards, moderation modules for teachers. There are enhancements being made to the student management system to support moderation, online moderation, case studies of good practices are being provided, targeted professional development will be provided by the Ministry, and there is an alignment of the commonly used assessment tools. But at the end of it, this government has absolute confidence in the professionalism and expertise of our teachers to deliver those overall teacher judgments.
The Honourable Chris Carter.
Mr Speaker, could she explain to the House the rationale for sending all state and state-integrated primary and intermediate schools a letter on the 8th of October instructing them to put into their school charters new reporting targets for national standards by the beginning of the 2011 school year, when the criteria for defining and moderating these targets have yet to be defined on a national basis?
The Honourable Anne Tolley.
Mr Speaker, look, I don't mean to be difficult, but I'm not sure whether it's the sound coming from right at that end of the chamber, but I couldn't quite hear the beginning of that question.
I'd ask the Honourable...
Happy to repeat it.
I appreciate that.
Happy to repeat it, Mr Speaker. Could she explain to the House the rationale for sending all state and state-integrated primary and intermediate schools a letter on the 8th of October instructing them to put into their school charters new reporting targets for national standards by the beginning of the 2011 school year, when the criteria for defining and moderating those targets have yet to be announced or defined on a national basis?
The Honourable Anne Tolley.
I see no such letter.
Question number... Point of order, the Honourable
Speaker, I seek leave to table the letter which was sent out from the Ministry of Education on the 8th of October to all primary and intermediate schools in New Zealand.
Leave is sought to table that document. Is there any objection? There is no objection. Question number 12, John Hayes.